Hey guys, today's play Lamplight City. This is a steampunk point-and-click adventure game that came out in 2018. Do like steampunk vibes, and I do like the point-and-click adventures, so let's check it out. It's being a more modern point-and-click adventure game, but done in a retro style, I'm guessing. It looks like. Oh, wake up, sunshine.
Rough night?
Bit too much Bollingworth ale is all. That stuff really creeps up on you.
Sorry I couldn't join you, but I was long overdue for a quiet night.
That's fine. There'll be plenty of other opportunities. Hell, maybe Adelaide can even join us. It's been ages since she last drank me under the table.
Afraid she mostly sticks to tea these days.
Miles, what exactly is it we're looking into? I may have dozed off.
You sleep through the briefings?
Sure. It's really not that difficult.
Snelling.
Snelling's monotonous drone works better than cold tip.
Very funny. Anyway, it's a burglary at the Hambrook Flower Shop.
A burglary, eh? How dull.
You seem awfully certain of that.
I am. In fact, I'd bet the devil my head that we're done within the hour.
Well, the devil's gonna be disappointed that his winnings are so meager. Ah, we've arrived. After you, Bill.
Okay. So judging from the setting here, yeah, steampunk, it probably takes place in, what, Victorian England or something like that? Some kind of Victorian England type setting?
Thank you. Keep the change.
Okay.
And so, our night of excitement begins.
You more than anyone else should know that there's rarely a dull night in Chumley.
I have a feeling tonight will be the exception. Until we get to the pub, that is.
Keep your mind on the case, Bill.
Okay. Bill
Bill,
Legger.
could I have a word?
What's on your mind, Fordham?
Ford him. Okay.
A burglary at a flower shop. Not the most thrilling case we've had, is it?
If I didn't know any better, I'd say Snelling's been giving us the boring cases lately on purpose.
Why would he do something like that?
He's eyeing a promotion to chief of police. He'd sell his own mother's cane if he thought it would help. Plus, there's no secret he doesn't like us.
I can't understand why. I've shown him nothing but respect.
It's because you're too good at what you do. And because you're friends with me.
What's that got to do with anything?
Not everyone is as open-minded as you, Mile.
Yeah, so, this is an investigative steampunk point-and-click adventure. Well, it's just, you know, a lot of point-and-clicks are investigative by nature, so...
You ever miss living out here, Bill?
About as much as you miss stepping in that pile of horseshit, lad.
I was distracted by that story you were telling me about your sister. How's she doing out west?
Well, she's not in the chump. Living here was about as fun as wearing a vest made of meat to a dogfight. Oh, and by the way, Miles,
Wow, what
you
an
didn't do
analogy.
such a great job of cleaning your shoes.
That would explain all the funny looks I've been getting. Still feeling rough, Bill?
Yes, but I'll feel better once this case is finished and we can go down to the
Hair of the dog?
better medicine.
Let's get back to it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of point-and-click adventure games are point-and-clicks, so... Anyways, let's go in.
Come on, Bill.
Check out the, It's, in this case, not even a murder mystery.
Charming
It's
little play.
someone
Charming,
stole something,
but
right?
empty.
Always so to the point, Fordham. If ever there was a better time to stop and smell the flowers.
I think I'll leave that to you, Bill.
With my allergies, hardly.
Yeah, this one's not even a murder mystery. It's like someone stole something. A petty crime. Okay.
Not too many left. Seems business isn't so bad around here.
Well, you know what they say. There are only three certainties in life. Death, taxes, and people taking advantage of sales.
Right.
This is quite the selection. Come over here and take a whiff, Bill.
Sure, if you don't mind me getting snot all over you.
Oh, no, not the Myers case all over again. On second thought, you can just stay over there.
He's allergic, I think.
These prices are pretty reasonable. The place I go in Worcester's clearly robbing me blind.
If you think those are bad, don't go near the flower shops in Lyon.
Why would I be going to flower shops anyway?
Mostly a bunch of fertilizer and growth tonics.
Growth tonics, eh?
Plant growth tonics, Bill.
Of course. I knew that.
Bell? Ring the bell?
Be right there. Oh, hello, gentlemen. I must say you caught me by surprise. I was preparing to close soon. May I help you find anything? The flowers in the center display are half price, or perhaps a custom bouquet for the special ladies.
I have no need myself, but maybe Adelaide would appreciate a little something. Emma, those peonies in the corner look nice.
I'm afraid we're not here as customers tonight, ma'am. We'd like to have a word with the proprietor.
I see. I'm Cecilia Handbook, and this is my shop.
I'm Detective Miles Fordham, and this is my partner, William
that's
Legere.
right.
We received a report of a burglary at your store.
A report? From whom? I never contacted the police before, and I didn't this time.
It was made anonymously. But are you saying this isn't the first time it's happened?
Correct. It's happened 3 times. But considering the police hardly care about the daily muggings and vandalisms, I didn't think they would be interested in something so trivial.
Well, we're here now.
We'll have to see about that.
If you wouldn't mind, Mrs. Handbrook, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Very well, Detective.
Could you give me the details concerning the burglary?
About 3 weeks ago on Monday, I noticed that my order of Easter
Who's
lilies
stealing
was missing.
flowers?
At first, I thought nothing of it. Sometimes certain types of flowers are unavailable or arrive in poor condition. Then 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, it happened again.
Go on.
When I opened the shop, there were 6 crowns and 10 shillings on the counter. That's exactly the cost of 2 orders of lilies. Last Friday, it happened yet again. The lilies were missing. I believe that someone has been breaking into my shop after hours.
They're at least
taking the
leaving her
lilies.
money, though.
How unusual.
So, I mean, technically they're stealing, but they're also paying for it, which is unusual, I guess. It's like an honorable thief. Okay.
Have you noticed any suspicious characters lurking around?
Detective Fordham, this is Chumley. You can't throw a stone without hitting a suspicious character. And if you've noticed my window, you'd be aware that stones get thrown around quite a bit. If you're looking for trouble, you're far more likely to find it out there than in here.
I meant if you'd seen anyone out of the ordinary near your shop.
Only the 2 men from the police who entered it tonight.
Have you found any evidence of a break-in?
No, the front door is always locked.
Are there any other points of access to the...
The upstairs windows, I suppose, but I make sure to keep them locked, and neither of them have been broken.
Would you allow us to have a look upstairs?
Is that really necessary?
It won't take but a moment.
Fine, I suppose you may.
Okay.
You mentioned your assistant has the other shop key.
His name is Trevor Hastings, and he has been working for me for the past 10 years.
Do you trust him?
Implicitly. I've known him for ages, and he has been my full-time assistant since shortly after my husband died. You're not suggesting he had anything to do with it.
Not at all. I would like to speak with him, though.
It's Friday, so he should be on his way back from the docks right now.
Good. We'll meet him here, then. If that's all right with you.
I suppose I don't really have much of a choice.
So, this burglar has been paying for the stolen goods?
That would appear to be the case, yet I really don't think this could even be considered a crime. That's one of the reasons I didn't bother reporting it.
And the other reasons?
Oh, I think I've already made those quite clear.
Have you been in business long?
Yes, I opened this shop 30 years ago, but the past 10 years I've been running things on my own.
Don't you feel unsafe being here by yourself so late into the night?
Detective, when you've lived in this part of town as long as I have, it takes quite a lot to scare.
I think that's all the information I need for now.
All right, Detective.
Okay. Casebook. Honor amongst us, an honorable thief that actually pays for the for what he's stealing. Okay.
Plants hanging on hooks.
I'd probably bang my head against them constantly if I had them in my apartment.
Let's go. Upstairs.
Interesting choice of decor.
Perhaps it wasn't always used as a storeroom, although I can understand why it would have been converted.
Yeah, it is rather drafty in here.
This provides a means of escape from the top floor, or access to this window from the ground. The window latch, securely locked. Interesting. There's a gap between the window and the frame here. I wonder.
What are you thinking, Fordham?
That it's time for an experiment. I'm going to need a tool, however. Something long and thin should do the trick.
Shouldn't be too hard to find something like that around here.
Okay, it's like Sherlock Holmes. You really gotta try to reenact how the burglar got in, I guess.
imagine that keeping a consistent temperature in here is important for the flowers.
When do you suppose this contraption was last serving?
Hard to say. Definitely not recently, if the pastoral landscape.
I never much understood art, but it would be nice to see a place like that in person.
Yeah, this game reminds me of a Sherlock Holmes type game.
A rather distinguished looking gentleman.
Reminds me of Captain Snelling, if he ever smiled.
Yeah, especially given that you have two gentlemen here in Victorian England type setting or steampunk setting. Certainly does remind me of a Sherlock Holmes type game.
A young lady.
I can see the resemblance. Sort of.
Her daughter? Perhaps?
I've seen this type of device before. It's a special container for growing plants. Seems to be empty right now, though. And judging by the dust, it hasn't been used in a long...
It seems Mrs. Hanbrook isn't too fond of steam tech.
Seems to be the broken pot storage area.
Why not just throw them away at one?
It's likely they're going to be repaired. I noticed some faint cracks in some of the pots down...
Crates?
Unmarked. But if the smell is anything to go by, this is where the flowers are stored.
I'll keep my distance then.
I don't think this window would serve as a viable means of entry.
It's a nice view, though. You can hardly see the vomit and manure piles on the street from up.
Right. Used to smell a lot back then, right? Before the modern sewage systems. Yeah, before modern sewage systems, which was only pretty recently. Wasn't until the mid 1850s. I mean, 1850s, the mid 1800s that we had modern sewage systems. So before the mid 1800s, like basically the streets just smelled, and people just dumped their everything, like all the waste and stuff, just on the street. It was pretty bad.
Thinking about life's great mysteries again, are you?
With my inventory, I don't have anything. I don't have anything in my inventory. I don't have anything long and thin wire or something. Device.
Fascinating device, although it has nothing to do...
I don't see anything else here I can use.
Not too many...
Well, you know what they say. There are only three certainties in life. Death, taxes.
Right.
I have a few more questions for you, Mrs.
Very well, Detective.
Mrs. Hanbrook. Were you aware that there's a gap in the frame of the small upstairs window?
Is there? I only go up there to check that the window is locked. I've never noticed a gap. Are you suggesting that's how the burglar is entering the...
It's a distinct possibility, but I have yet to figure out exactly how.
Well, I trust you'll come to a satisfactory conclusion, Detective.
I think that's all the information I need for now.
All right, Detective.
Mostly a bunch of fertilizer,
Growth
plant...
Okay. I need something to open that, or to fit in the gap, right?
These seem to be part of the watering system for the flower.
I haven't seen old piping like this in a while. Seems like someone's reluctant to upgrade.
Okay, where else?
Certainly looks cozy in there.
Plants have a nice way of doing that.
He's just pacing back and forth, muttering to himself.
Probably one of the patients from Riverview. Seems like there's more of them on the streets than in the asylum these days.
Poor fellow. Looks like the streets are his bed tonight.
Better than jail, I...
He'd at least get fed in jail.
True enough.
That reminds me. I should pick up a bouquet for Addie when we're done.
Seems like you've been spending more time with me than with her lately. I sure hope she's not the jealous.
Man, I need to have the thin piece of like wire or something like that for the gap in the window, but I don't know where to find it. So I've got to check carefully each pixel here. I think I clicked on everything so far. Gotta be careful, you gotta click on everything.
It says
Well, that's one mystery solved.
Yeah, I gotta click on like everything. Leave no pixel untouched, basically. When it comes to these point and clicks. Can't leave any pixel untouched. There's a gap here.
Interesting.
Well, can I find something to use?
Seems to be.
Why not?
It's like.
I'll keep my...
Man. No, I don't think I see anything. I'm looking at every pixel here. Anything I missed? I think I clicked on everything so far. Damn, where am I supposed to find that thing? A small thin object. Yeah, where can I find a small thin object? Well, I'm looking around every pixel and I can't seem to find anything that could be used as a thin and small thin object. What the heck?
This is quite the selection. Oh, on set.
Let's click everything again. Maybe this hook here? Maybe a hook can be used here? No?
Aha! Mrs. Hanbrook.
Oh, a hook.
May I borrow
Okay.
this hook for a few minutes?
Yeah.
Is that so?
Yes. I promise. I'll put it back as soon as I'm.
Please do, Detective.
Oh, okay, there it is. So yeah, I can use one of the hooks. Cool. Okay, that was it. Use one of the hooks. Okay.
Good.
Try it.
Bill, it's time for our experiment.
And what is this experiment going to be exactly?
Simple. I'm going to see if this hook can get me inside the shop. Rather dark out here.
Watch your step, then. This experiment of yours isn't worth a broken neck.
I'll be fine. Now then, could you please close and lock the window, Bill?
Mr. Watson? Dr. Watson? Okay. Can I get in? Oh, okay. There. And I can unlatch it, right? Nice.
Well, I'd say this is fairly incontrovertible proof that the building can easily be broken into without arousing suspicion.
Where'd you learn how to do that, anyway?
You taught me, remember?
Nah. Are you sure it was me?
Positive. We were a few pints in at the Angel about 5 years ago, and you decided I should learn how to pick lock.
What else have I taught you how to do while drunk?
That would be telling.
Okay, well, it did it. Elementary, dear Watson. Oh, he just came in.
Ah, Trevor.
Evening, Cecilia. I've got the order ready to bring in.
Trevor, these are Detectives Fordham and Leger. They say there's been a report about the burglar.
I only did it because I think it's been going on too long. As much as you want to, we can't handle this ourselves.
We can discuss the matter later. In the meantime, the detective would like a word with you.
I'll be needing to bring in the flowers first, if that's all right.
My partner will keep an eye on your flowers. Bill, would you mind?
Ah, the glamour of police work.
Oh, he's allergic to
Now,
them,
Mr.
though.
Hastings, if I could ask you a few questions.
Go on.
What can you tell me about the recent burglary?
I wish Cecilia had contacted you a lot sooner. She's a damn fine woman. But sometimes I think she'd rather jump in a rose bush than ask for help. Had to take matters into my own hands. This needs taken care of, and we can't do it on our own. Anyhow, alls I know is someone's been making off with some flowers. No idea who it could be, how they're getting in, or why they even bother paying. In my day, if you robbed a place,
You did it the right way.
right way.
Burglars don't even do their
Do
Do
jobs
you have much
correctly.
experience with burglary, Mr. Hastings?
Now, I never said that, Detective.
Have you noticed anyone or anything suspicious around here recently?
Nothing but the usual roughnecks, ragamuffins, and drunkards. Like I said, it's a real mystery.
Could you walk me through the process of your delivery?
Of course, There's no great science. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons, Cecilia gives me her list of flowers to pick up from the wholesalers. I head over to Gascone around sunset when they get their shipment. They load up the crate, I pay for it, and then I lug it back here.
How long does that take?
Between moving the crate and getting it across the river on the ferry, a couple of hours. Usually the store's closed by then. So I use my key to get in and leave the crate inside for Cecilia to open in the morning. That's all there is to it. Told you it wasn't very
Do
complicated.
you ever leave the crate unattended during that time?
No, sir. Never more than a minute. I may be old, but I got good eyes. Besides that, I check to make sure the crate is still sealed when I drop it off.
Okay.
How long have you been working for Mrs. Hanbrook?
Been about 10 years now. I used to help with deliveries now and then when it was her and David. But after he passed, she offered to make me her assistant. Used to be I had a job at one of the airship yards. But they let me go after I was injured by one of those newfangled steam machines. So the offer came at a good time. Besides that, Cecilia needed looking after. If I'm being honest, we're both getting a bit long in the tooth. Not sure how much longer we'll be keeping this up, but as long as I'm upright and breathing,
I admire your work ethic.
I've got a job to do.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Hastings.
Appreciate it, Detective. If you don't mind, Detective, I still need to check the crate.
Of course. Thank you again for your help.
Learn anything?
Possibly. I may have an idea.
Ah, you're being cryptic. That's always a good sign. But if you've got a plan, let's talk about it.
I'll let you know if I have any more questions.
Ah, yes, I'm sure you will.
Okay, let's see. That's probably the way. What else can I do here?
Unmarked, but if the smoke...
Nothing else to do here, right?
Fine job you're doing. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Detective.
Fordham, what are you doing?
I was gonna check inside this trash can.
Miles, in the 15 years we've been partners, how many times have you found something inside it?
Fair point. Glad this thing is lit. This isn't really the type of place I'd
Gas
prefer
lamps,
to...
of
Don't
course.
worry,
back then.
Miles.
I can't believe that thing made it all the way across the Atlantic in less than a week.
Don't scoff at the future, Miles. Pretty soon, we'll all be riding those things to work.
Especially considering Prince Harold is their big celebrity past...
Huh. The existence of a Zeppelin. Okay. I was gonna say this game might be Victorian England, but then I see the Zeppelin here, which is like early 1900s then probably. That's probably where this game takes place in, is probably early 1900s. I was gonna say 1800s, but then I see the Zeppelin, which didn't exist in the 1800s, so yeah. Well, not sure what to do now, but Lamplight City, guys. I would say this game is probably closest to Sherlock Holmes, like a Sherlock Holmes type of game, like Lost Files of Sherlock Holmes. Those type of point and clicks. So you're basically playing as an investigator. You have an assistant, and it's set in this type of Victorian London-ish setting. So yeah, the game reminds me the most of probably the Sherlock Holmes point and click adventures. But yeah, if you guys like investigative type point and clicks, and this is a
Lost
more
in thought again, eh, Fordham?
this is a more modern, recent one, then check it out. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Especially if you're interested in like a Sherlock Holmes type game.